When it comes to young investigators, such early career investigators such as Michelle, it is vital. It is a necessity to have these networks. If you are going to be successful in this career, you have to network. That is the only way to do it. You can't just sit back and expect things to happen. And I think Michelle has that to a certain extent, that she's not afraid to go out and identify who she needs to be talking to, who she needs to be dealing with,
so you can't
to make sure that she establishes that network.
Is to support women in their field of research.
Carol's one of those kind of very persuasive type of people.
Michelle's work is researching into skeletal malignancies involving in identifying targets to fight against bone cancer, a particularly devastating form of cancer that has migrated from other sites.
The Royal Adelaide Hospital Research Fund has an annual presentation each year, and at that presentation I met Carol, and Carol asked me at the time whether we had some very young, vibrant researchers who were of world-class standard.
We went from there and it was so exciting, and immediately he sent me 3 candidates.
Now my PhD is in cancer research and in particular bone cancer, and so that's when the cancer cells from its primary site metastasizes or moves into a secondary location, and generally it enters the bones and causes debilitating breakdown of the bone. And with that, I've been focusing on a drug that has potential in stopping the debilitating breakdown of the bone as well as stopping the cancer growth.
I think that the reason for this award really came about of these couple of presentations that she had to give through the University of Adelaide to a whole lot of people, and she came across as being so confident.
The Hansen Institute used to have an annual function, and we had a presentation by the most promising young scientist, and Michelle gave her talk and she won that award, and that was based not only on the scientific merit of the presentation, but it was also on the presentation. And because Carol was very, very interested in obtaining somebody who could also speak out and talk to her group, Michelle was the obvious nomination.
And also the work that she was doing in the context of breast cancer within this group was of high caliber.
Well, right now I'm finishing up my PhD, so it will be all the research that I did here in Adelaide.
She's very energetic, and she's not afraid of exploring different avenues.
She has been working 2 years in the outside world, and then after that you realize you want to do something.
The last few years for me have been a roller coaster of highs and lows, and one of the most valuable skills I've learned during that time is mental resilience. And by mental resilience, I mean toughness, including attitude to what I set out to do, as well as resilience to criticism and negativity.
In 2009, I was at my final year of my PhD, and there was this email circulating about a fellowship, like an Australian government award that I could apply for if I wanted to work in Asia somewhere.
Well, it's very, very important with researchers is that they not only spend an early career with us, but they also bring in, can travel overseas, they bring in knowledge from overseas, and hopefully they come back to Adelaide and work in new medical research institutes like the SAMRI one, which is about to be, which is being developed at present, or being built.
And because I was in my final year, I was told that the chances of me getting it would be less, because this is designed for partway through students who want the opportunity to make connections and build international bridges. But because I wanted it so much, I still applied anyway. I didn't care, I still applied.
She gets what she wants, and she strives out to get what she wants.
Is she stubborn?
Quite.
I got to spend a year abroad looking at something I'm a lot more passionate about. And that was using traditional Chinese medicines for the treatment of cancer and bone cancer.
So in Hong Kong, I was given 3 herbs to look at.
And they were?
And the scientific names are very complicated.
If you can tell me those, that'd be great.
Actually, I know them in Chinese.
Tell me in Chinese.
Really?
Yes, please.
Well, one of them is Bafa Sexy Chou, and the other one is Wang Sum. And then the third one, which they mainly use for the bone, is green tea. So drink lots of green tea.
Really? I do.
Yeah, good.
So what does the green tea do?
Well, the green tea is meant to, what we look at is meant to, okay, within bone, there's, in simple terms, there are bone-forming cells and bone-breaking cells. Right, so green tea is meant to enhance the activity of the bone forming and reduce the activity of the bone breaking. So if you've got, say, a condition like osteoporosis, for example, where your net balance in bone is increase in the bone breaking area, so that's why you get your fractures and all that sort of thing, green tea is meant to stop that activity.
How does it do that?
By directly getting to the cells that do that, that cause the breakdown of bone.
So there's lots and lots of things that make up green tea, and it's one of them that gets into the bone breaking cells and stops them.
Well, we don't know if it's a one or a combination.
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you know, and how do you find out? Is that what you're looking into?
Yeah, I mean, over there they've got many techniques to find out, you know, whether it's one or multiple, or, you know, synergistic, what we call, or additive reaction.
In ballpark figures, how many different bits of stuff are in green tea?
Oh, there could be thousands. We don't, like, I don't even know. You know.
So you don't know actually even the number of active constituents in green tea. So it's probably a pretty promising sort of area.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
It's every indication that Michelle is going to achieve, and it doesn't matter what field it'll be in, we will hear about Dr. Michelle Lee.
I would say she is unique in her approach as a woman that strives to achieve and sees what she wants, and she'll go after it. And I think that's a good quality in someone. That's an indication that someone is going to make it, whether it's going to be in this field or whether it's going to be in another field. And to get a PhD, it gives you that opportunity, opens up a lot of doors, not only in cancer research, but in a whole lot of other areas.
Do you have to cure cancer to say that's it, we've made a breakthrough? Or, I mean,
you know, a breakthrough can be something really small. A breakthrough can be something really big.
Because you learn something.
Exactly. As long as it's something that has not been done before, it's a breakthrough, really, I think, in the science world. I mean, it's small steps to the big picture, towards the big picture. Yeah.
And how many steps have you taken?
I don't know.
So far?
A lot.
A lot?
A lot.
But probably you've only just started.
I've only just started, and, you know, I've spent 4 or 5 years on my PhD, and, you know, it's a lot of small steps to get to where I am now.
Just to get up to the start.
Yeah, exactly. It's not an easy road, but it's not a hard road. I mean, if you're interested and you're determined.
Well, if it's what you want to do with your life, it's interesting.
Exactly.
And of course, we're not the only research group in Adelaide or the Research Institute in Adelaide. There are others around, but we have some very, very promising individuals here, and we can select research scientists not only in early career, but we can also give you or nominate people in their mid-year career, and you know, these people then have at that stage become very prominent worldwide.
And I will continue to pursue my goals with the heart of a warrior and the peace of a monk. Thank
you. Michelle has the ability and sees the value in networking. Now, I picked that up straight away because we've actually, when we've notified other potential candidates for this, you know, there hasn't been that excitement where with Michelle there was, and immediately she made contact and was quite overwhelmed, as she never takes nothing for granted, and I think that's what she's going to really be, that's why she's climbing and, you know, to the top.
Because in research it's not just important that you can actually do the scientific side of the research, it's also really important that, and to attract funding and attract many aspects of research. It's very important that you can talk to the public and you can give a very much a lay description of what you're actually doing, and this will, you know, benefit you right the way throughout the career. And Michelle was one of these type of people.
So she'll go far.
She will, without doubt.
Thank you.
The Women of the Year Association is one of those very important organisations which provide funding, only a small amount of funding, but nonetheless support for a young researcher. It just gives that added edge for the researcher, brings up their confidence, and knows that they are being supported by the community, and that the community is aware of their research. So it's a good stepping stone to move on.
And I look forward to hearing much more about her journey.
Platform 1, reverse push 1, train to party, platform 1, single